This is Adonai Deek, and welcome to Building an Astral Home. So we're just going to go over this process or exercise of building an astral home in your imagination. The purpose is going to be to enhance or increase the accuracy of the mind's eye, the imagination, or your inner magi. The experience should become as realistic as your waking life. When going back to the same place after you've created it, it should be recallable, and the details should be there. And as you repeatedly go back, you should be able to add further details, such as the blades of grass, the type of grass, the small, minute things such as the moss on trees, or the bolts or screws that are in the furniture. The world you believe is the world you bring into existence. By performing these methods, you will strengthen your mind and your will. This exercise will help you think of the minute details such as color, space, atmosphere, texture, feel, material, pattern, fabric, and the list goes on as far as descriptions. When the mind is relaxed in the dreaming state, it doesn't know the difference between the waking state, and it will record an intention as if it happened in real life. This will assist especially with roadblocks, as your subconscious past is overwritten with a successful attempt or whatever you're trying to build. So it will make it easier to perform this action in real life. It's pulling the fifth dimension to the third dimension. Sometimes when we think in our mind's eye without a guide, it's a little hard to get that detail. So what this video is going to assist in is giving you a guide to walk through building the house, but also giving you the help and assistance to create the detail that you want and to guide you through each step. As you become stronger, you can do this with someone else, or you can do it by yourself. Okay, imagine an old home, or maybe just any home for that matter, but off in the distance with a long driveway that drives up to it. Think of the trees on the sides, think of the grass, or how the layout of the property is going to be. Maybe there was a gate that you had to go through just to get access to this road. Maybe the house is seeable straight from the entry of your property, or you have to go through some bends and turns. Are they tall trees? Do they encompass over the top of your heads? Are they older trees? Are they younger trees? Think of these things in your mind and how you want your home entry via this driveway to look like. Or maybe there is just a short driveway and you can see the house right from the road. It's your choice. So tell me now, how do you want this to look? Okay, so let's get into some details with this driveway. How do you want the driveway to look? Is it brick? Is it going to be slate? Is it brick that are small, or that are squares and smaller squares, some rectangular? Think about this in detail. Just imagine yourself driving over this. What is the sound going to be as the tires of your car go over whatever material you use for your driveway? What is it like to walk over? What is it going to be like to ride a bike over or a motorcycle? You have to think of all these things when you're actually building a home. So, what do you want right now? Don't mind talking to the screen, but it helps to talk this out as you need. Close your eyes if you need to. Some people actually can open their eyes and use their mind's eye just as good as if it was closed. It's your pick. But tell me, how is the material or brick of your driveway going to look? Okay, we're moving up the driveway, and we're coming up in the distance. There's a waterfall or a circular driveway with a waterfall. It can be circular, it could be in a flower pattern. It's your choice. Maybe in the center of the waterfall, if you have one, maybe there's a statue that's three-layered tiered with water coming down like a waterfall. Or maybe there's the Archangel Michael with water coming out of his mouth. It's your choice. So what do you want for your statue if you do have one? Okay, great choice. Now, the retaining wall that holds the water for the fountain, if you have one, what does that look like? Is it thin? Is it thick? Does it have enough space that someone can sit around and just relax if they want to? What is the material like? You can go and answer. Okay, that sounds good. So what is the material on top of the retaining wall like? Is it slate or is it just a flat like red brick? What do you want there? Okay. Now what about the water? Is the surface of the bottom of the waterfall, is it painted to make the water look blue or gold? Ah, good choice. Now what about fish? Do you want fish in there? Or do you just want it to be, without anything in there? Or maybe you have frogs or anything. Okay, great choice. Okay, so we're moving from the waterfall and coming up to the front porch. If you have one. Well, if you do have a porch, do you want it to span the whole front of the house? Maybe part of the house, or just no porch at all? What do you think? Ah, okay, that sounds great. All right, now if you did have a porch, what the floor in the porch, is that going to be wood, metal maybe? It's your choice. What is it going to be? Concrete? And what color and texture is the concrete? All right. Now before we get there, let's go back a little bit to the steps leading up to it. How many steps is there going to be? Okay. And are they wood or maybe concrete? And there's a retaining wall or planters with plants. And what is the height of the retaining wall if you have one? Or the rails? And what color? Okay. And if you had plants, how tall are they? And what types of plants are they on the side? And how many? Oh, wow. Okay. I never thought you thought of that. Okay, now we're going up the steps. We're walking up the steps and coming onto the porch. So tell me a layout of this porch if you have one. What type of furniture do you have on the porch? You might have a two-person swing, a table, a glass table, maybe made out of tweed and white. You pick the color. A couch. Tell me a little bit about this porch layout. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's nice. Anything else on there? Is there anything to decorate it? Or anything else to mention? Okay. Well, it's a nice front porch. So right now we're at the front of your house at your entry at the door. So what is the height and type of your door going to be? Is it going to be one door or two doors that open up? Okay. Oval or rectangular shaped door? All right. Now if you have glass in the door, Let me know what type of glass. Maybe it's some sort of ornate stained glass, or maybe clear glass in a square shape or circle. What's the shape, color, and type? Okay. Now, what about the door knocker? Do you have a door knocker? Describe to me the knocker if you have one. Is it gold? Maybe with a lion's head or something like that? Okay. Now, what about the doorknob to open up the door? Is it round or is it any ornate shape? Modern? All right, that sounds like a nice front door. Let's move on. All right, now we're getting to the big stuff. Now we're in the foyer. So this is the front entry to your house. How do you want this to look? Do you want it to be open and wide? Is it white? Do you have two staircases coming from each side winding? Do you have one staircase? Maybe you might have a small table to put change, or there's a lamp, or maybe there's a chandelier coming from the top. Okay. Now, what about a coat rack or something like that to hang coats, or a bench seat where someone can sit and put their shoes? Okay. So what type of floor are you going to have? Is it going to be wooden? Is it going to be glossy or matte? Maybe granite, marble? Oh, great choice. Any other details you want to add to that? Okay. All right. So now we're going into the house study, if you have one. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. So tell me a little bit about this study. Is it going to have a dark atmosphere? Maybe it's all wood with wood floor. What about carpet? Did you think about that? Oh, that's a good choice. Is there a library in there? Do you have books, or is it a minimalist? Okay. And what about your desk? How is this desk going to look? Is it going to be old with wood, or is it going to be modern glass, very sleek and minimalistic? And what color is the glass? Is it clear? Is it a dark glass? What color is the wood? Is it light wood? What is the wood type? Is it mahogany? Okay. Do you have any TVs in your study? Great choice. Now, what about any art? All right. And computer setup. Are you going to have no monitors, or are you going to have a monitor set up with three monitors going across, or maybe you have a big screen with a wireless keyboard hooked up to it? Okay. And what about chairs? Do you have any chairs for any guests that come into your study or your home office? Okay. Well, I mean, just take this time just to walk me through. Don't have me lead you through everything, but tell me what other details that you actually have in here. Wow, you have good taste. Well, since you've done so well with the study, let's move on to the dining room. So, tell me a little bit about how this looks like as you enter in that doorway from the foyer to get to your dining room. What is the atmosphere like? Maybe it's old style with ornate. What color is it? Is the main overall color? Is it carpeted? Do you want hardwood? Okay. Now, what about the texture of the walls? It can be wood, be white, eggshell, can have little swaths patches. You can even make the walls marble all around you. It's your choice on how you want your home to be. Now, okay, I see a dining room table. What's the length of this table? How many feet is it going to be? How many people is it going to sit? Okay. Now, is it made out of wood? Maybe it's some Brazilian type wood. All right. Now, do we have any? Is it set up with placemats and with dining ware? Are there any sculptures in the front on the table? Okay. Now, explain to me how that sculpture or what you'd have on the table looks like. Paint a vivid picture for me in my mind so that I could see just how you see it. Okay, and what about the chairs? Maybe how tall are the chairs? And what's the material? Maybe you have a tufted high back chair for each person who sits there. Think about the gatherings that you want to have. Is this a showroom or is this a family gathering? Okay, I see. Now, looking around the room, maybe there's a couch somewhere. Okay, all right. Now, what about windows? Where are the windows located and how do they look? How is the light coming into this room? Is it coming from the sun in the windows? Is it coming from artificial light? Maybe a chandelier or something hanging over the table? Okay. What about art? What type of art do you actually have on the walls? Great choice. All right, so we're going to move on from here. So let's move into the kitchen. All right. So, what is the overall theme of your kitchen going to be? Okay. Now let's start with the islands. Do you have any islands? How big is your island going to be, and how many islands? Okay. Do you have a stove range on the island or off? All right. And maybe the island has seats that go under it. All right. Now your sink. Where is your sink going to be? Is the sink going to be on the island or is it going to be on the other part of the kitchen where the cupboards? Or maybe both. You have sinks in both places. Okay. Is it a deep sink? How deep is it? And what is the shape? And what material is being used? Okay. And what about the faucet? Is it one of the newer type faucets where you can pull the spigot out? Okay. And think of the color, texture, shape. I mean, it can be glass for if you want it to be. Now, what about the cupboards? How many cupboards are in here, and where are they at? Paint me a picture so I can see exactly what you're seeing in your mind. Describe the faces of the cabinets. Is it all wood? Is it white? Or is it kind of have an older finish? Or beige? Or maybe it has glasses, a piece of glass in the face so that you can see your plate, silverware, and the things in there. Okay, great. All right. Now, what type of stove range do you want? And the hoods that go over it also. Let's not forget about that. And what color is it? Okay. And moving on to the refrigerator. What type of refrigerator do you have? Do you have the old style or you have two on each side? Maybe it's the same material as your cabinets and blends in. Is it metal? Okay. So tell me a little bit more about this refrigerator. All right. So are your appliances on the cabinet or are they tucked away? All right. So tell me about any other details that you want to add to it other than this. Walk me through. I want to see everything is as you see it in your mind. And don't forget about the countertops. What type of countertops do you want? Marble, slate? Okay. Now we're off to the living room. Describe to me the overall feel. What do you want the atmosphere to be like? Is it family? Is it modern? How tall are the ceilings? Do we have vaulted ceilings or is it, the ceiling is just kind of no and normal because you have a one-story home? Do you have a TV, a flat screen anywhere? Or maybe a theater projector on the wall? What about a fireplace? Do you want a fireplace that's embedded into the wall? Or a false fireplace? Okay. Now what about art? What type of art do you have on the walls? Describe for me the art. Maybe you have a Basquiat or something like that. Okay. And what is the light looking like? Where are we getting the light from? Is it artificial light? Or do you have it opened up with windows that maybe lead out to the outside? Okay. And what about curtains? Talk to me about how your curtains are. Your color, texture, length. Okay. And what about the couch? What type of couch do we have? Is it L shaped, square shaped? Just one? Is it leather, tufted? Okay. Oh, I see. And the coffee table, what type of material is that? What is the shape? And give me a description of that. Hmm. And what about the carpeting? If you do have carpeting, or hardwood or marble? Okay. And give me a description of anything else you may have in this home. Maybe you have a grand piano somewhere. All right. Thanks. So next up, your resting place, the master bedroom. What does this look like? How high is the ceiling? What are the colors of the walls? Okay. What about art? Do you have any art in there? And what about the textures of the walls? All right. And do you have carpet or hardwood? Do you have marble? Okay. And what about any rugs that go over the floor? And what does the rug look like? Talk to me about the pattern. All right. Any enhancements to the ceilings or windows that you want to add? And what about the curtains? Do you have an ottoman? And what type? Explain to me about this ottoman. Okay. And do you have nightstands? Uh-huh. How many? And how tall are they? What is the shape? What is the material used for them? Talk me through those nightstands. Glass. And what do the lamps look like? Are they tall lamps? And if you don't have nightstands, you may have a 6-foot vase or something like that. Something artistic and different. Okay. Now, do you have any chairs in there or maybe a couch? Explain to me how those look and what's the setup. Great. And what about our lighting? Do we have window going to one other part of the house? Maybe the master sits outside the garden and you have a large window that you can open up, letting light in. Okay. Now, what about the master bed? Is it a sleigh bed? What type of bed is it? Is it a high tufted bed? Also could be one of those invisible beds where you can't see what's how it's actually floating. Or maybe a platform bed. Explain for me this setup. Okay. Now, how is your pillow game looking? Tell me a little bit about the pillows that you have, the sizes, the colors, how they're set up, and also the comforter. Is it a thick comforter? Is it modern looking? Does it have flowers? Any type of designs? What color is the comforter? And also, what's the overall color of the bed? Okay, okay. And do you have any TVs in the master bedroom? All right. Now, what about a vanity or anything like that? Tell me about any other features that you may want to add to your master bedroom. Describe them in color, size. Paint a picture for me. I want to be there right with you to see exactly what you're building. Remember, we're building this together. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to the master bathroom. So tell me, how do you reach the master bathroom from the master? Okay. So what's the overall color and overall look? Like what material is being used for the floor? Do you have a single shower or dual showers? Okay. And do you have a shower and a tub, or you may have two garden tubs? What's the size of the tub that you have? Is it garden size, oval, maybe even round, or as big as a jacuzzi? Okay. Now the shower, what type of material is used for the shower doors? Okay. Now what about the walls of the showers? Tiles, slates, kind of like an outdoor. It could even be moss growing in there. I don't know. Silver, mirror finish, marble. Okay. Now, what about the water coming down in the shower? Is it coming from the top with a wide head where it comes like a rainfall? Or maybe it's coming from all sides, or it's a steam shower also. Okay. Now, what about your sinks? Do you have his and hers sinks, dual? Okay. And tell me about how the mirror looks and how that setup there looks. The material, the size, the shape, the color. Okay. And your drawers? Are they white or what color? Uh-huh. All right. Do you have a steam room? Anything else? Sauna? Anything else you might want to add to this bathroom? Just go ahead and walk me through it. Don't let me give you all the information. So just take a little time, walk me through your bathroom as if I'm walking. You can walk me to the left or right and Show me all around this bathroom. Okay. Well, good job building your Astra home. This is just an overview and should be able to build a memory, and you could revisit this and you could update. You could actually bring yourself as if you were actually there into the situation, and you could make this almost like as if it was as real life, your waking state, where every detail is there, where you go inside your mind's eye and create a, an environment that you could actually live in and actually do things in. But also, what this is, what the experience is to show you is just the level of detail to use when you want to create anything. This exercise can be used to build a company. It can be used to get in shape. If you haven't been to the gym, you could go through a scenario where you walk your mind through getting in shape, building muscles, actually seeing, feeling the emotion of how it is to actually finish your workout. Look at your muscles. See yourself over time. And what this will do is as soon as you get on your program, it will help you to obtain success because you've already been there. It's the same thing as like an athlete, like Michael Jordan or any top athlete, when they use visualization to see the outcome and look at all the different avenues and things that they may face within a game. So that when they already are there, they automatically can snap into a zone because they've already been there. They've seen the outcome, they've seen the variables. And you can do this for your life. So it's not just a home, although it could be a home. And you can also do this same structure of the exercise with someone else. You can lead them through it, and you guys can co-build a business, a home, or whatever you would like to actually strengthen the energy for it. Because thoughts are things. So you can create something, and two people can come together and rebuild, and it becomes lodged in your subconscious and becomes more real. It actually could become a place that you could actually call up a person and invite them into your imagination from remote places if you were that advanced. Well, anyway, we won't go there, but thanks.